Good morning, everyone. So, right at the bat, I'll tell you guys I'm waiting for 10 a.m. at least. So, we have that red folder news coming in at 10 a.m. Obviously, I wasn't in the marketplace for any of this price action here. Nothing that I'm looking back on that I would enter on. But one of the most important rules to stick to is we don't need to trade every single day. Most guys, if they just cut their frequency of trades in half, they'd probably be profitable and be doing so much better than they are. This is one of the industries where the harder you push, the more you're going to get pushed back. So this isn't the business for aggression. You need to have patience and discipline. So my narrative here today is at the opening bell, I'm assuming everyone was just looking to short just because of this large move down from Thursday. I wasn't thinking that because right at the opening bell, what's everyone going to want to do? Short, 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 short. And what did they do? They drove it right up. And if you look at NASDAQ, anyone that was impatient this morning got their ass handed to them. But anyways, here's what I'm thinking. If I do not get any, unless we're talking like a 5-handle scalp or something, something of those means, unless I find some type of shorting setup, I'm not going to be trading at all today, and I'll be preserving my earned capital from this week with my inner circle members. Great week, honestly. But yeah, waiting for an A+ trade setup condition, and if it doesn't perform, I'm not trading. Simple. So I want to see how we act within this inverse fair value gap here. So now that we swept the high, I want to see how we act. So if we respect this and close here with the swing low, it's probably likely we'll see a continuation higher off of that. But if we break down now and don't form that swing low, then we could probably be seeing some downside movement here. But with that being said, 8 more minutes, and that's when I'll be considering anything in price action with significance at least. So if you're looking to buy right now, it's typically never a good idea to buy when we have a significant regular trading hour gap left behind. Now, not saying that we can't leave this behind with the current aggressive market conditions we've been seeing this week especially, but typically it's not a great idea longing with a large regular trading hour gap left behind. Take a look at Dow. Alright, so Dow just displays below the low. And what's this level right here? So look at the daily time frame. One of the most precise price points you will find is daily volume imbalances. So you extend that out, we got below it, and now we came up, touched the bottom of it, and traded off. And then if we look over at NASDAQ, we're about, let me measure out this wick, 25% of the lower quadrant of the daily wick here. Let me just get this measured out quick. So we're at that lower quadrant of the daily wick there. So this is a level I'll be monitoring. Do we, once again, you can use wicks inversely. So if we get above this 25% level, do we treat it as support and trade higher? Or do we get some type of closure around this level and then go lower? We'll wait and see. So yeah, 6 more minutes. Alright, so we're at the high end of this 1 hour gap. Ideally, I want to see us hold this closure up here if we're going to go lower here. Once again, I'm not really interested in longing this market here, especially with that large drop down we had Thursday. You're probably like, well, that's what everyone's thinking. Well, the average speculator would probably come in and see that we had this very large drop down, and then as soon as it comes up here, they're going to short the opening bell here and hold on, and then it comes all the way back up and stops them out. But for me, I'm waiting for specific times, very specific time windows. Alright, so look at that. Boom. Super Toaster, good morning. Go ahead and run up that like button if you're finding anything useful in here. Super Toaster, good morning. Go ahead and run up that like button if you're... Go ahead and run up that like button. Okay, so 3 more minutes, and I will potentially hunt for a setup. So, let's see if we swept this low. Alright, so we just matched this low down here. So these lows are pretty clean. That doesn't mean that it's going to go down there, but I'm just saying if we do get displacement, that's where they would like to target. So ideally, I want to see some type of closure on the 15 and hourly at this lower quadrant wick. So let me just, instead of continuously telling you what this level is, let me just mark it out. There we go. Alright, so then what else are we at right now? We're in that sweet spot of optimal trade entry. So we're midpoint of 79%, 62% retracement level. I always tell my private members when I'm streaming or giving out signals or whatnot, you want to see, ideally you want to see some type of closure on the 15.5 1 hour within this vicinity here with the optimal trade entry retracement price points. So let's watch and wait 1 more minute. Nice, nice. So I like the idea how we swept this 930 high. And then we have these lows down here, and then we just shift below the swing low. I like that. I'm just going to wait for that 10 a.m. volatility to come in. So I think at 10 a.m., I would not be surprised if we just dropped straight down or just went straight up. So watch the inverse gap here. Watch that. Go ahead and write up that like button as well for me. Alright, so there we go. There's that drop down. Not surprised at all. Watch NASDAQ. NASDAQ's just dropping down into this 5-minute gap. So if we're going to see lower pricing, what do I need to see? I need to see us disrespect this 5-minute gap. But then what would we be targeting? This low in the regular trading hour gap. Now, once again, none of what I'm saying here can actually transpire, and I'm okay with that because I'm not going to start longing in a premium. Like, I'm not going to be losing any money here. I'll just simply not trade and come back the next week and find my model and trade it. Simple. So Dow showing relative weakness here. I want to see it disrespect this breaker here, the midpoint of it, and then this gap here as well. Very nice precision though on that daily volume imbalance for Dow though. And then if we flip over to the dollar index, we have buy side up here, and if you look at the 4-hour time frame, we're simply just wicking down into this 4-hour gap, and then this right here is this inverse 1-hour for value gap high. So I want to see us stay above this level, obviously, and then my eyes would be shifting up here, these clean highs here, and then if you look at the daily time frame, came down, matched this previous daily high. So my eyes are going to be jumping to this daily high right here, so Friday's high. So basically I want to see higher pricing in the dollar index. Nice reaction off of this wick here as well. Alright, so I told you guys about these lows here. Watch them. They're going to get swept. So not as much volatility as I was expecting at the 10 a.m. news, but I mean, that's fine. So ideally, I'm going to be hunting a 5-minute entry point, whether that's a breaker, order block, for value gap, whichever. I'm going to be hunting a 5-minute setup because I don't want to be in the 1 minute right now. So watch this inversely, 1-minute gap, and then watch. Oh, I thought that was a 5-minute. Watch this 15-minute gap inversely. Now, the only reason why I didn't short this here when I was saying I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a drop down lower here is because 10 a.m. news, it's likely to have some type of slippage or come for your stop and then go lower. So it's better to just wait until it drops because you don't know how volatile it'll be once that news releases. Alright, so we're trading up into that inverse 15-minute. And then this inverse 1 minute. And then I'm looking at us trading into this regular trading hour gap here. This separation from this wick low to this closure. So if we come back to this up close candle, I can go ahead and alright, so this is good. NQ. I want to see a closure below this 5-minute gap, and I want to see us disrespect this one. And then the 15-minute, obviously. So once again, I want to get some type of 5-minute entry. Duke, do you target the lows, consequent encroachment of gap, or gap fill? Depends on the current narrative we're within, but I want to see a gap fill right now. But yeah, right now I want to wait till this 5-minute candle closes here. So if we didn't have that 10 a.m. news, this right here would be considered a high probability short. So 4381 and then 437225 is probably where I'd exit, because right below these lows is the regular trading hour gap low. So you see why I'm not chasing. I'm gonna wait till the 5-minute candle, or yeah, 5-minute candle closes. Worked in this 15-minute wick here. That's reasonable. And then if you take this 5-minute wick, we're displacing higher off of the midpoint of that. That's all this is, guys. It's all the markets move from: wicks, gaps, and pools of liquidity. Alright, so I want to see if we can, this can key off of, you know, the immediate rebalance idea. I want to see if that can come to fruition. Whether it happens or not, it doesn't really matter, because I'm not executing yet until I see something undeniably favorable. So if we go to the 3-minute, or 3-minute, you see we're tracing into that 3-minute gap left behind. Same with the 2-minute. So ES, what did we do? We just came back up to these up close candles here. You see that? So what would this tell you from institutional order flow standpoint? If we're coming up and respecting up close candles and then trading off, so up close candles here, respect them, trade it off, and then we come up, respect the up close candles again, trading off. This obviously supports bearish order flow. So these 3 up close candles would act as one order block. So once again, it'd be preferred if I get 5-minute entry. I want to see this act as an immediate rebalance, which it already has, obviously. So we come up, match this low, completely covering in this whole down range here. Let me get this off. Completely covering this entire 5-minute candle. So what is that? Why is that important? Because it comes up and matches it. That tells you if we continue lower, the market isn't going to want to come back up here. It's going to want to leave this range open and keep going lower. So that's what the immediate rebalance is. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and enter one contract here. Risking 0.5%, one contract. So I'm going long at the opening of this up close candle here. I want to see that respected. And then my take profit is going to go 6.4, the lower quadrant of the regular trading hour gap. So take our range. I'm entering in a premium, exiting in a discount, right? So once again, I'm only risking 0.5%. I'm not risking my entire account here. And I want to see if we can get some type of idea here on NQ. Up into this 5-minute gap. Alright, so yeah, I'm going to see how we act at this 5-minute gap, and then I'll reevaluate here. So first short-term high after the down move here, that was swept. So I actually like to see that for lower pricing. ES came back up to the up close candles. So I think this retracement was actually pretty reasonable here. So my idea is not gone. So yeah, I want to see us stay below the midpoint of this down close candle here, which we have been doing. So see what Dow's doing here. All right, so Dow's obviously the leader here. We are in a discount already for Dow, so I mean, I don't know why you'd want to trade Dow, but I wouldn't be wanting to short the Dow now that we reached down here. I don't know why anyone would want to prefer trading the Dow. Alright, so final trade idea. I'm going to throw in one contract at the low end of this inverse 15-minute gap if we come back up to it. Alright, that's good enough. Yeah, there we go. So final trade idea. This will be a risk of 75%. So stop's going to go above this high. So let's see. 7.6. This will be a 4-handle stop loss. So I'm only risking $200 here for a $400 gain. So this 1-minute gap and this inverse 15-minute gap. Now my stop is this low because there's no reason for us to come up here. So if we come up here, so the reason why it came up here is because I wanted to blow out this short-term low, or short-term high, sorry, before going higher. So the reason why my buy stop would be above this one, and I'd be more comfortable with it being above this high here, is because of this sensation that just took place here. And where did it happen? Take our opening range. So this will be like I guess the gem of the live stream here. So you take the high that was formed in the opening range. So the opening range is just 930 to 10. So you take the high to the low, and then you look at the midpoint. You can expect small little fractal stop rates to take place around equilibrium of what? The opening range. So yeah, very slow moving action here. So I still do want to see us return to the regular trading hour gap down here though on NQ. Too many lines, I know. Is that the trash truck out there? Say, I don't like the back and forth wicking we got going on here. So if we don't get displacement here soon, I might just pack it up here and leave it alone. But stop has to remain right here though. I'm not gonna trail it any lower because that would just be not letting my stop to breathe at that point. Still really favorable for me to see us sweep these lows here though. But if I'm being honest, if I wasn't streaming here today, I probably wouldn't even be taking any executions today. I probably actually wouldn't be in the marketplace, period, just because of how good of a week we had in the inner circle here. So I want to see us respect the midpoint of this wick here. So nice reaction off of that level there. So we're facing a little bit of consolidation here. It's fine. Whatever happens, you know. No trade is ever guaranteed, but what makes profitable trading is your risk management and making your losses smaller than or making your wins bigger than your losses. So if we close above this midpoint wick here, I'm probably just going to close the trade early here and minimize loss. So yeah, I don't like what we're doing, so I'm just going to close the trade early. Probably just wait until at least 10:30, so just give it like 10 more minutes. Let the 15-minute candle close. I just don't like the consolidation we're facing right here, so small little paper cuts, nothing to hang your head on. But we'll continue watching here. GSN says SMT at the lows. If you're referring to Dow, I guess you could see it that way, but I'm not looking for higher pricing right now. It's just we're just in a choppy consolidation, that's all. So let me take this off. So this down close candle should act as a breaker. Take the midpoint of that. See the precision there? I don't want to see it come back up here to the midpoint of the breaker. So with this price action we're seeing here, I need to see something significant on the 5-minute time frame rather than just being down in the 1 minute. So yeah, I was identifying the midpoint of this 5-minute wick here. We initially reacted off of it, but then as soon as I saw that aggression above it and the closure here, automatically cut bait and cut my loss. So you see the logic able to be framed cut losses. So I don't like how we just came down and matched these lows again. I would want to see those get swept. So that's obviously what I was targeting here, but it just fell short of it here. So yeah, we just got to watch and wait here. We're just in a consolidation. So the fact that we had this small little short-term stop run here and then we came the whole way back above this high, that's problematic for going lower. But at the same time, the fact that we didn't sweep these lows, that's problematic for going higher. So what do we have here? Low probability conditions. See how that works? So earlier I said I wanted to see a closure on the 15-minute time frame at the daily level here and the high end of this imbalance, and we got that. Created a swing high. Got to the low end of this 15-minute gap. So that's why I was looking for shorts once we got up to here. The only problem is we're just chopping around right now, which is also known as time distortion. So they're waiting for something. So I need to see meaningful displacement out of the consolidation. If I don't get that, then I don't have anything. So I need to see meaningful displacement below the consolidation we're in. I'm still favoring the downside. Don't get it wrong. I'm still favoring the downside. It's just I need to see significant movement here. So that, in other words, this. So see how they came down, match these lows, and now we're trading towards it. I want to see us sweep these and then get down to here. So if anything presents, I will take one and final position. So after that, there's no need to continue risking capital if I take a loss, because I mean, once again, it was already a profitable week. I don't know why you just want to give it all away on the last day of the week and then go into the weekend and be like, oh damn, I should have just took Friday off. Alright, so I'm watching this inverse 15-minute gap, and then this up close candle right here. I want to see if we can dip back up into that. And then I can target the lows and the original target down here. So let me look at NQ. Alright, so NQ, these lows are just too clean, and then we have this opening range low I want to see get swept. So if it doesn't give me an entry up here, I'll just wait for another shift and then use the breaker here. Alright, so look, going short in the volume imbalance. Volume imbalance right there. Stop goes above the high. And this will be my final execution. If I lose, that'll be a 1% loss for the day, as opposed to 6% weekly gain. So that would bring me at about 5% for the week. So it's all about just managing your risk. And notice I'm only using one contract. I'm not in here risking the bank here. I'm not gambling the rent money. Alright, so buy limit goes to the discount. Alright, so there we go. That's the displacement I wanted to see. Buy limit goes in discount. Let's see here. So I'll put it at the 62%. 6.7. Alright, yeah, that's enough for me. I'll put it right there. And then that'd be below the sell side liquidity right here. So there we go. Stop can get lowered now. And then we just submit to it. So I'm entering in a premium, exiting discount. Simple. Alright, so look. If you didn't get in here, once again, I'm not telling you to risk your live funds. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. Watch this breaker right here. So this would be a 1-minute fractal breaker. Right there. So I'm only using the bodies. You don't need the wick. Just use the bodies. That's what's important. So that would be a breaker. And then I can get rid of this. So basically, just a nice little intraday scalp here. Premium volume imbalance to discount imbalance. Simple as that. Let me see what NASDAQ's doing. Okay, so remember I said these lows are too clean? And then my eyes automatically jump to the opening range. Sorry. Keep having hiccups or whatever here. Opening range low would be the what I'm eyeing up here. So this would be 7.6. So yeah, just 8.5 handles. So if you're looking at this gap right here and you want that to be your trace to for a trade idea, you don't want to see it trade to the high end here. It could, and then trade lower, yes. But if we're talking in terms of accurate precision here, you would want to see it institutional order flow dip into the low end of it and then trade off. Why? Because we traded up offering buy side of the curve, and then we completely overlapped that range offering it sell side. So if that's the case, you wouldn't want to see it work up into the high end of the range. Alright, so we just tapped the very low of the breaker there twice. Want to see it maybe get to the body there. So if NQ disrespects this gap right here, I can just I'll probably look to close ES in profit. But other than that, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Alright, so trading up into the breaker. Beautiful. So I'm watching here. I want to see us. It's obviously I'm thinking it's going to displace lower off of this breaker here, but you know, no outcome is guaranteed. So worst comes to worst, if we close above this gap here, I'll just close and profit for I don't know, $75. I think that would be 7.4. Yeah. All right, there we go. So this would be a second opportunity for shorts, but the one I took was obviously more high probability because it was deeper into discount or premium. Sorry. All right, so now that we just formed this up close candle, after hitting the breaker here and then bounce, you want to see it stay below that. Remember what I said? Bearish institutional order flow. So yeah, ES just looks a lot cleaner than NASDAQ right now. So yeah. And now inevitably, even though I'm literally trading in front of you live and making profits right in front of you, nothing hidden. You guys saw me take that small loss just before this. Inevitably, there's going to be those guys in the comments saying, well, you just had all that higher time frame analysis just for you to take 8.5 handles. I mean, that's my trading model. That's how I make my money in the marketplace. I typically am a intraday scalper, and consistent intraday scalps is what works for me. And if it doesn't work for you, I mean, then yeah, take swing trades, make your money that way. Very slow moving market here today, though, which is reasonable. We did have a lot of back and forth here on the weekly or on a weekly basis. Lots of manipulation as well. Absolutely. Come on, get down there. So my take profit is sitting right around that 62% retracement price point. So stop is lowered. Risk is 2 handles for 8.5 handles. So watch this volume imbalance in here. See how we wicked up into that? We want to see it wick off and trade lower. So yeah, Nasdaq is very hideous. Only when I'm live streaming, Price loves to play around once it gets super close to my buy limit. Only when I'm live streaming though. If I'm taking trades with my inner circle members in the Discord or whatever, and I'm calling it out, won't do so. But if I'm live streaming, oh yeah, it'll fuck with me. So yeah, go ahead and run up that like button if you guys found some insights here, or I don't know, whatever reason you want to hit the like button, you're just feeling generous. Go ahead and run that up for me to help me reach more viewers and help spread more knowledge and whatnot, all that good stuff. I do offer, most of my live streams are private, and I offer signals on the daily in private Discord. I also do private mentorship videos here on YouTube. So if you're interested in that, interested in becoming a better trader and all that good stuff, learning while making money, you can go ahead and hit that join button on my channel here, and you'll have instantly gain access to all that stuff. And the only reason why I charge is just to weed out those who are serious about trading and those who aren't. So if you're willing to pay a small fee per month, that shows me that you're at least somewhat serious about learning and, you know, serious about trading as a whole. So yeah, I just love how price is just messing around right above my buy limit. Classic right here, I'll tell you. So obviously if we don't find support at the opening here, I'll just have to close the trade early because I don't want to see this disrespected. See how close it got to my buy limit? Yep, I don't like it. I'm going to take the $150 profit. So still a profitable trade, but unfortunate that I got that close to my buy limit and then traded off. But I'm just going to go ahead and take the guaranteed 150. I just don't like how fickle price is moving. I'd rather just not be in it. And the fact that we closed above the midpoint here, that's why I closed the trade. So it might come down to my buy limit, but I don't care. I just wanted to take the guaranteed profit there. So in hindsight, if it comes down to my buy limit that just missed by a couple of ticks, I'd be like, oh, well, I should have just been more patient. But real time, I'm seeing us close above the order block here. So why would I want to hold on and just let it go the whole way up? Candle fake out. Yeah, you can call it that. So I did come back up to the breaker. I just didn't like how we closed above midpoint of the body of the order block here after we already swept the first pool of liquidity. So whenever I see that, I'd just rather not. Like, I'd just rather close the trade, whether it runs off without me or whatnot. And then NASDAQ just looks hideous. So it looks like it will come down to my take profit there. Because markets definitely do not bottom like this whatsoever. Alright, so there's take profit hit. If you took that with me real time, that would be 8.5 handles for you. Adele FX. NQ was cleaner for me. 2-minute FVG was holding strong with the silver bullet model. Yeah. Couldn't say you're wrong in that one. Not bad. But still pretty choppy though. Range bound. So yeah, basically quick recap. Just a small little scalp, obviously. High to low, premium discount. Shorted what? The premium volume imbalance right here. After displacing off of the high, we got lower, what below the swing low right here. That doesn't really matter to me. It's just another confluence. As soon as we dipped up into that volume imbalance, boom, go short, and then target some whatever discount array you want to target. So yeah, nothing too crazy, just 8.5 handles. I think I'll continue to monitor here just until this next macro pops up at 10:50. Alright guys, I think that'll be it then. I'm content with a little over 5%, 5.5% on the week. I'm content with that. Just not the best day, I would say, here for price action, just very slow moving. I am looking at these lows down here going in later into the day. I want to see if we can sweep those down here. But other than that, not too interested in the charts today. So if you guys found insights in this, hit the like button. And my live streaming schedule will be posted this Sunday evening. And then for my Inner Circle members, my pre-market analysis will be posted around 6 p.m. or whatnot. So yeah, have a good rest of your day, guys.